Hi my salty pecans, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Pamela, and on today's video I'm going to be doing a 1-year update on a couple of plants that I actually purchased early 2020. I believe we're in April now, so the plants that I'm showing you all I purchased before April, so they've had a full year in my collection. So I'm going to be showing you all of the growth and giving you all a little bit of care tips, or just telling you what I actually do care wise for these babies. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. So welcome back everybody. Alright, the first plants that I'm going to be showing you, I believe I purchased these early February, late January. I got these from Steven, who is the owner of Island Obesas. At the time, he didn't even have his shop open, and he just sent me plants as like friends. And I like to say, I like to toot the horn that I was his first unofficial customer. So the babies I'm actually going to be showing you are these beauties right here. These are my Euphorbia Lactea White Ghosts. I did actually get 2 of them. So I'm gonna try and insert the clip of these plants now. Guys, oh my gosh, he literally blessed me with 2 amazing plants, and I cannot wait to pot them up. I have pots, but I think I want a little bit of a deeper normal pot for these plants. They're each gonna get their own pot, of course, and again, so can you see the growth difference? These plants have grown so much in just a year, and they honestly, I would recommend Euphorbias, the Lactea Euphorbias, to anyone, because one, in my opinion, as a carefree plant parent, as an underwaterer, plants like these really do well in my care, because I actually don't give them much care. I honestly rarely water them. They live in my northeast facing window in my kitchen, so I try and rely on nature's rain for the most part. So it's literally on the mesh, like laying on the mesh of my kitchen window. And when it rains, it'll rain on this. When it snows, it'll snow on this, and the plant continues to grow. It's given me a bunch of new growth, like I mentioned, and these are both 2 different plants. So this is the first plant that I'm going to show you all. I'm going to put one of them down because this is heavy. So like I mentioned, I don't really water this plant very often, but you can try to figure out, you know, what routine works for you, what the plant likes for you in your collection. But again, I rarely water this. I try to let nature do its thing, but when I do water it, I let it, you know, water fully. And that's also in regards to the soil that this is in. This is in very well draining soil. There's plenty of perlite in here. There's a good amount of orchid bark and soil. And I believe I might have just sprinkled a bit of sand into this too. I don't have anything else in here. I would recommend, if you want, you can add a bit of worm casting as fertilization. In regards to fertilization, you can definitely check some cactus, euphorbia, succulent fertilizers. What I do is, on the random times that, let's say I'm watering my regular plants, I remember, oh, let me give this, you know, some water. It hasn't rained in a couple of months, you know, it hasn't snowed, it's not snowing season. Then I'll use my regular fertilizers that I use for all of my plants. If you're interested in the fertilizers that I do use, I have a fertilizer video, and I will link that up here in the description box below. So let's move on to the next plant. So the next plant I'm going to be showing you all is actually my Syngonium Albo. This is my beautiful Syngonium Albo Variegata. As you can see, some parts have the really white variegation, other parts have a bit of the minty variegation, but either way, this plant is amazing. I absolutely am obsessed with this Albo Syngonium. It's grown a lot in the past year. Are you ready to, oh my god, this is beautiful. Oh my god, I love Syngoniums. This is a variegated Syngonium Albo. Syngonium, guys, I'm so fucking happy. Oh my gosh. This one got a little crushed and mushy, but it's okay, guys. I'm so happy. I've actually chopped it up a couple of times and it just continues to grow. What I actually feel like I might want to do is cut here and root this and let this plant vine off into another plant, because this is looking very intense. But I'm happy to report there is a new vine coming. Well, this new vine is pushing out some new growth with beautiful variegation, so I'm really happy about that. This plant, I noticed it would like to be kept well watered. If you do let this plant dry out fully, you might notice, you know, a bit of leaf loss, so try not to let this go too dry, because this Syngonium Albo, unlike the other Syngoniums in my collection, doesn't like to dry out all the way. It just, keep it on a regular watering schedule, essentially, is what I want to say. Fertilization wise, similar to the Euphorbia, I just fertilize it with my common fertilizer that I use for my plants. That could be liquid dirt, that could be fish emulsion, that could be aquarium water. It just depends on what I'm feeling the day of watering. But this plant is really non-fussy. It lives in my northeast facing window and it looks so beautiful. This is 1 year's worth of growth. So the last and final plant that I'm going to be showing you is my beautiful string of turtles. I picked this up sometime last year and it was 2 smaller pots, and I'm gonna try to insert the clip again of this. Guys, this video just did not I went from really happy to being scared out of like my A. This thing just shipped so wet. Why do we... This is cute, guys. I can't really just be as joyous as I want to be though, after the whole camera situation. So as you can see, this is a big difference from when I first got it. It was much smaller, and this has decided to like completely fill out the entire pot, so I'm so happy about that. At the time, buying string of turtles, finding string of turtles was just like a maze run. It was insane. These were going for so much money. But now, like all plants essentially in the plant community, it's hard to find when they're a bit more uncommon. But once, you know, once larger companies, larger plant companies, they start mass producing them, it becomes much easier for you to get your hands on them. So now I know people can get their hands on string of turtles like anywhere. You can go to your grocery store and get string of turtles. String of turtles are a plant that likes higher humidity. They like a more of a moisture substrate. So if you find that, you know, your string of turtles, they're a little flat or they're not as full as it can be, try to up your water, try to up your humidity. And also, one thing that I do recommend is, if you can see these little long stringy thingies right here, those are actually flowers. So if you want, I recommend you just pick the flowers off, because it actually is doing nothing for your plant, and it's using a lot of energy to keep these flowers. So you can just go ahead and pinch them off and toss them, but you don't have to if you like the aesthetic of the flowers. I don't really care too much for them, because I am a big fan of using your energy for things that matter, which is just the foliage. These are not plants that I buy because I want them to flower. These are plants that I buy because I want it to have more foliage. But with that being said, I am so happy at just the beautiful growth these plants are showing. Of course, since April 2020 till April 2021, I have purchased a bunch of plants, and these were just the 3 that I wanted to show you all in today's videos. If there are other plants that you have seen that I did purchase last year and you're curious on how they're doing a year later, definitely let me know down below and I can definitely film that video for you all. So with that being said, thank you so much, my salty pecans, for watching this video. If you liked it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and sharing. Thumbs up for the new growth of all these beautiful plants that I got last year. Subscribe if you aren't already. Join this little cookie family because we're pretty awesome here. Become a salty pecan. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Let's get growing. Bye!